that, but still.
Yeah.
This is a huge drop for the show.
Yeah, it definitely has such a vastly different tone for this version of the series that it's almost, if you're new to Trigun, that I can't imagine that it would be so confusing. Because, like, you and me, we're watching this as people who have already watched the original anime, so it's like, oh yeah, like, we already know all this stuff. And holy crap, they're just, like, throwing out all of these big bombshells that were in the original anime, like they're nothing.
But to any new viewer, this is just setting things up. It's like, oh, this is just information that we have now, as opposed to, like, any kind of mystery or mystique.
Yeah. So I would say watch the original Trigun before watching this new one.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to if you really want to appreciate the original Trigun in its full extent. Because, like, I mean, I don't think you'll have a bad experience watching this one first. I just think you'll diminish your value from the original anime. Hello, everyone, and welcome to kind of an impromptu series because we just learned this started airing yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, caught us both by surprise. Yes, new reaction series for Trigun Stampede. Very excited. In fact, I had never watched Trigun, the original Trigun.
Recently.
Not until very recently, when this was announced, was actually when we started like, hey, we should watch through that.
It was on our list to watch together, but then when we heard of the announcement, we bumped it up.
Yeah, we just like, okay, we gotta watch this now. And for my record, I had tried watching Trigun before with my parents. Yes, I think I've mentioned this.
Yes.
And the first episode lost us. And it's not the best first episode, but it's not as bad as I remember it. I think part of it was just like, it was such a older animation in comparison to what I had shown them before when it came to anime, that it's just like, it kind of like, the mood in the room was infectious and it just like shut down. Shut down any desire to watch the rest of it.
That's a shame.
It's weird because I remember distinctly struggling to follow the animation in the fight scenes in the first episode. And then I watched it with you and it was way easier. I don't know what changed exactly.
It could be just your perception, maybe because I know that when people are sitting around with family, like, they sometimes twiddle on their phones. So if you, like, looked away for a second, then you're not able to follow as quickly. If you're not expecting anything to go on, you're not paying attention. You're just watching casually, so you're not, like, focusing on it.
True, and it's also possible that I was just younger and I didn't understand animation as much as I do now.
When did you try to watch it? Like, how old were you?
Oh, I think it was college. So, something like...
That doesn't narrow it down.
I'm like 7-8 years ago, something like that.
Okay, because, like, I went to school with, like, 40-year-old men who used to be truck drivers who were like, I want to change my profession to animation.
Yes, I am a 40-year-old man that has done. I'm a 40-year-old truck driver. That's.
I'd hope not.
I've been lying this whole time.
No.
Get in the cab. Okay.
Part of the reason why I put it on the list in the first place was because I was like, there is no way that we are going to, like, exist in the same space, and you cannot have experienced something as classic as Trigun, especially because it's so important to, like, anime history. It's so important to my history as an anime viewer, as an anime fan, as a storyteller. Like, there's just no way. Like, it's way too important. I am not allowing you to not experience the old stuff. You young man.
Say to a man 3 years younger than you.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong, and I'm glad you showed me because I ended up loving it. For the record, Wolf Millie for life. That ship God damn it. There needs to be more fanfics. Those two are so fucking adorable.
So, why don't you tell everybody your thoughts and opinions and your experience watching Trigun with me for the first time? Like, all the way through. Because you told the story about, like, watching it for the first time with your parents.
Yeah, but when I watched it with you, it was an absolute blast of a ride. I know there were a couple of episodes that I didn't like. I didn't end up liking. Particularly, there was the one where they were on the giant, like, sand crawler type vehicle, and Neon, was that his name? Just Neon or whatever?
I think so.
He was just, I did not like that episode. It was poorly edited. Some of the plot points just happened to happen. And I tried to actually go back through the manga, and I haven't picked up the manga since that chapter. Because like that chapter is just as poorly edited, paced, and written, frankly.
So then it's not the anime's fault.
It's not the anime's fault. Yeah, the anime was just actually faithfully adapting the manga. If anything, it made it slightly better.
So in the same sense that the original 2001 Fruits Basket made the manga better.
Yes, exactly. It's just like, and for the record, even the far superior 2019 Fruits Basket still stumbled on the same blocks, because that's just a really hard block to get over. Honestly, someone really needs to sit down with that author and be like, okay, look, we gotta rework this start. Like, there are problems here. We almost have it. We just got a little more work on this.
Well, you know,
we'll do it for the live action adaptation.
That author's had 30 years of experience by now.
And yet they still stumbled a little bit. Not as bad, but still. But as for Trigun, we watched the English dub because we're American weebs.
Yes, and plus it was the version that I was introduced to. So it was the one that I was comfortable with. Yeah,
which has a lot of the classic voices, obviously. The what's his face as
the very first voice acting job for John Young Bosch.
Yes. Who we're currently in the middle of doing a podcast series with someone that we're watching all of Power Rangers, and we're getting to enjoy Johnny Young Bosch's start. Did he start with Power Rangers? Was that his very first acting role, or was that?
I think so.
So we're really seeing like the earliest evolution of his career, and having met the man,
Baby Bosch,
it's interesting to get all that. And having been a big fan of him in Code Geass, I think he's excellent in that as well. And that's on our list as well.
Yeah. Going back to the Steam arc, you did have some issues with it, but you also said that was around the time where you started to get Trigun as an anime, as a series.
Yes, and I think part of that was really establishing the relationship between Vash and Meryl and Millie, and just how like the episode of the day kind of goes, and how like the episodes of the day they are still connected. Like that's one thing I appreciated about this, is like there was a sense of chronology and geography to things, even if like there might not be a solid map of Gunsmoke and where all the different places they visited. You always had a strong idea of, oh, we're heading west, we're heading east to this city, and then an episode or two later, they arrive in that city. They have adventures along the way. It's like you kind of feel it. Actually, it's kind of weird because you kind of have the same thing going on in Slayers, which we're watching through right now. But I don't feel that as strongly with Slayers, which is weird because Slayers has a definitive map.
It does have a definitive map, yes.
It's very weird how, like, in Slayers, it feels a little more disjointed than Trigun, which felt a little more... although, I think I might chalk that up to Trigun. I don't want to say it's a little more serious than Slayers, but it kind of is. Like, Slayers, even when they get to the big bads, it's just like these big god things, and there's these, magic powers coming out of nowhere. Out of nowhere, but like, it's all this very heightened. It's all very, very fanciful and fantastical. Meanwhile, in Trigun, when things get serious, like, they get cold serious. Like,
oh, yeah.
Like, that's always been part of the appeal, is that you have Vash the Stampede, you can laugh up a storm, get drunk in a bar somewhere, and then the next scene, after he sees this mysterious stranger walk through town, his eyes do that thing where, like, they suddenly become hyper, like, edgy and narrow, and, like, oh, shit got real. Like, you feel the temperature lower from this warm jovial to this cold and intense, and it's like, oh, and then an entire town of people are murdered. That just happens in Trigun.
Yep.
Meanwhile, in Slayers, a whole town gets blown up, but we're not really sure if it's murdered.
Do you have anything else to say, like, of the progression of Trigun, though? So, like,
it really ramps up near the end to the point where it's kind of weird because you can tell it's both unfinished and yet they round it off pretty effectively. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It has very much Fullmetal Alchemist 2003 syndrome, but even like to an even more intense degree, if that makes any sense.
yeah. What was the episode do you think that shit got real for you in Trigun?
I think it was the one with the samurai dude who challenges him, because that's when Vash is forced to use the angel cannon.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, we actually get to see just exactly how he destroyed an entire town. And we're like, oh, so that's how you did it.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think that might also be the episode we get the flashback to meeting Knives.
Mm-hmm.
Which is one thing I'm really excited about for Stampede, is that, like, Knives is never really fleshed. I mean, we understand him, but he's not really totally fleshed out all that much in the original Trigun. I imagine I have my friend who has been begging me, Jay, he's just like, read the manga. And I'm like, I'm trying, but Neon sucks. I can't. I don't have the wherewithal. I can't.
But yeah, what about the episode,
Wolfwood?
Nope. Oh, well, actually, while I look for this, what did you think of Wolfwood's death?
I feel so good about it, but I also feel like the execution was okay. The concept was all good all around. It's just like, I felt like you could do a little more with it, but at the same time, they did enough with it. Like, it wasn't bad. It's just you could amp it up a little bit. Mm. But that said, I was very satisfied with it, and it broke my heart. It obviously broke Millie's heart, which...
Yeah.
God, like, there is so much to interpret there with those two and how they handle each other and how they interact. Like, you could do so much with that. And Wolfwood's death does for me what a good character death should, which is make you wish they were still there.
Yeah.
Like how would the world change if they were still along for the ride? And that's really such a impactful feeling, because that is the nature of death. It's like, I wish this person was still left in the world with me. It makes you feel like you've lost a friend. It's that bittersweet feeling.
Mm-hmm. So, Legato.
Right, Legato. Was that before or after Wolfwood's death?
That was after Wolfwood.
Okay. Shit got even more real with Legato, because obviously you got Vash being forced to do the thing he swore not to do. Mm-hmm. Which I understand that Vash has that like, Vash's philosophy is always very fascinating, because I actually oppose it to some extent. I think in some circumstances, deadly force is justified. However, he is very much pure pacifist, to the point that he wants everyone to survive as much as possible. He wants to keep, he values life on that degree. And I would challenge that, because his nature as a plant, spoilers, I guess, for anyone that's not familiar with this show, and his nature makes him effectively immortal for all of our knowledge. And I wonder if that kind of poisons his worldview in a way. It's like, people just naturally die. Like, death is a part of life, and sometimes people die violent deaths. And you can bring about these deaths if they are going to harm more people. It's like, he's fascinating in just the number of moral questions his philosophy raises. And I do kind of love that about him. Even if I met this man in real life, I'd probably be a little frustrated if there were people dying around me and he was just not letting it happen, obviously, but he was not taking the full actions he could to stop it from happening. It's like, so it's like, I can understand him. Doesn't mean I wouldn't be frustrated. Now, as a viewer, I'm frustrated by him. It's like, oh, Vash, just pull the damn trigger. But that's not Vash. He wouldn't be Vash if he did. So it's...
Exactly.
Yeah, it's why Legato is such an interesting moment for him, because he doesn't have a choice, and he has to pull the trigger, and he does, and it kills a man, and he is broken by it. It's absolutely shatters him, and I'm just sitting there like, man... Dude, stop. You didn't have a choice. I
was so excited to have you watch that episode because we stopped the episode right before that happened and you were talking about how frustrated you were and you just needed Vash to have some sort of really powerful moment that challenges his worldview.
And it happened. It happened perfectly. It was probably the most perfect moment. I mean, it's one of my backgrounds, actually, is the moment right after Vash shot Legato. Mm-hmm. So we've been talking about this for 20 minutes.
Yes.
I just realized that. We should probably get on to the actual reaction.
Yeah. But
if you wanted to say things about what you did, because like what you think of Trigun, to give viewers kind of a sense of things.
Well, I watched Trigun around the time when I first got into anime, and that was around the time when anime started like really kicking off in North America. So it was 2002, I think, that I actually watched Trigun. It was on VHS at my local video store to show you how old I am. But I just remember binge watching it and being just so enthralled with the world, so fascinated with it, just getting really into, Vash's mindset, being along for the ride with him, just having a lot of fun, and then, of course, just getting so emotional when it came to all of the struggles that he went through. And, of course, I don't remember everything that I felt because it was 20 years ago. Or something along those lines. But, the fact that I still get so excited thinking about Trigun to this day probably says something.
There is a magic. There's a magic in this show. Mm-hmm. They the number of times I've fantasized at this point how to do a live action adaptation of it. That's the highest of compliments, because I do that for Halo, which sadly got a live action adaptation we don't talk about. Halo, Bloodborne, there are different properties that just they have this magic where I'm like, I want this adapted into everything. I want books, movies, comics, I want TV series, I want everything from this because it's so damned good. There's so much there to pull from. And now they're doing this anthology thing by the looks of it, in the sense of they're doing a new interpretation of Trigun because as far as we know, Millie's not into this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we only have a why am I blanking on her name? She's adorable.
Meryl.
Meryl. I was like, Derringer Meryl. That's what I'm... Daryl is Walking Dead. Why would I want that? Oh, God. But yeah, Meryl seems to be the focal character. There's a new character involved that we've never seen before, and I don't think was even in the books, but I'm not sure. I'm still stuck on that one chapter. So I'm excited to see where this goes.
Me too.
Also, to note, done by Studio Orange, who did Land of the Lustrous, which I think is also on our list, but I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
I might add that because Land of the Lustrous is one of the most beautiful anime I've ever watched in my life.
I've seen gifs of it.
Yeah, just visually, Studio Orange nailed CG and 3D, for anime. It's so I'm expecting, they have a very high pedigree. I am expecting a lot here, and I hear good things about episode 1. I've thankfully not been spoiled on anything, so I'm eager to get into this. Are you ready?
I am so ready. Let's go.
Alrighty, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Woo! So I guess we're going to be talking a lot through this whole thing.
Unfortunately. Difference between watching it casually and watching it not casually.
Whoa.
And we're starting off here. Okay. Just right to it, I guess.
Just, you can, like, hear the scale of it.
Ah, yes, I do love my sound in space.
Seeds.
Seed-DOS. Seed-SOS? Seeds OS? Or O5, maybe.
Could be 05. Because there were many different ships. Oh yeah, here they are. All of the ships. I had to turn down my volume. It was drowning you out. That's Parka.
What? Why do Jeff, Kate, and Arthur get special treatment?
Probably ones that are closest by.
Oh no, unfortunately, I have a terrible haircut. Don't worry, you'll grow into it, kid. We should probably talk about that. There's this entire show got massively redesigned from its original designs. Like,
yeah, it did. I was not expecting it to just be so calm and then all of a sudden just like this.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, Knives is kind of being serious. I wonder if he knows what's going on like last time.
Oh.
Well, remember, he was going to keep Rem alive because Vash liked her.
Right. I forgot about that. Again, Knives, I needed a little more on Knives, so... I guess she's not piloting the ships down this time. Maybe she set it to autopilot. Oh my god!
Oh my
she
gosh.
did.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah, but like she survived after she launched them in the original, so like she made it to pilot the ships. She died afterwards, I thought.
I thought that she had like a child in stasis. Because, like, we know that she had relatives who survived, and Knives murdered them, like,
right.
Descendants. And I thought that she just had a child that was in stasis with, like, her husband who died. At least that was my assumption from watching the show.
Classy. I like the title card.
Stampede.
Orange. I do love how Studio Orange is just orange. Just
yeah. Bird. Bug bird.
Insect thing.
Yeah. Oh, look at all those cigarettes.
Ugh. I am hoping that this is like Meryl's origin story and we'll get Millie in like a season 2.
Yeah.
And Millie will be the newbie.
Ugh. You have that reveal like that, even though that we've already seen what you look like on your paper. Oh. Oh my god, it's Graboid!
Oh fuck. God. No! Why are you not more concerned? Oh yeah, I mean, blue whales are pretty harmless, but if one jumped off the side of my boat, I'd be alarmed. Subtitles, can you maybe not be down there, be up, maybe? Where there's nothing happening? I hope that's not going to become a recurring problem.
Hopefully not.
No Man's Land.
Uh-oh.
Ah, already got this staple. People wandering through the desert.
Yep. Oh, we're already getting it. Ooh.
Perfect. Mwah! Mwah!
Chef's
Masterpiece.
Kiss.
Right up there with Eugene from Tangled.
Yeah. Oh. Oh.
Oh, Vash.
Oh,
no.
no, Vash! Oh my gosh. You know, I've gotten time to get used to his new hairstyle.
Yeah, I dig this new design for him.
No! Don't do that! That's always a bad idea.
I love it. I would, if I ever become a criminal, I am totally posing for the mugshot. I am. Because why not at that point? Get the good side. Get the poofy side of the hair. Hot damn! Immediate lasso.
Well, she has a good point. You know, she's doing proper reporter work. Don't let go of the rope! Don't get...
I like newbie Meryl. How old is she? She's 23, right? That's what the paper said.
I think that's her age. Yeah.
All right,
oh my gosh, there's so much life to this animation. I love it.
I know, orange is great, isn't it?
Yeah.
But she's so like spry and youthful. Like I always imagined she was like late 20s, early 30s in the original. So a little grizzled.
Well, she was just very, slightly stick up her ass kind of attitude in the original. Now this one, she has something to prove.
And she is very small.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting we're just immediately dispelling with, like, the question of what the hell Vash is, a good guy or bad guy.
Yeah. Oh, the water isn't purified.
Interesting. Because, like, plants were just a power plant back in the day, so maybe they have specialized purposes now?
No, even in the original, they produced water.
But they specified water production plant as opposed to a non-water production plant. I think that might be a specification.
Oh, well, it could be like the water production section of their plant. I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, that's very possible. Could be a translation thing as well.
Yeah.
Well, we're just diving head into like all the lore.
Yeah, all the lore.
I mean, most of the bounty is in his hair, so
6 million. Oh.
not 6. It was 60 billion, wasn't it originally?
Yeah, 60 billion double dollars.
So I guess inflation hasn't hit this world yet.
Oh,
Unnecessary. Hey!
police brutality.
Oh, I like he's wiggling around like a fish. It's actually kind of funny.
Ooh.
It just hit me.
So-
Oh, it's July, as in like the month. I just hit me now, and not July. Gulai.
You just realized that when they were like, we have to go to August City,
Well, no, but
July
like
City.
I don't know why they're doing the in the translation July as opposed to July.
Oh, yeah,
That's what
yeah.
threw me off.
You know, at least it's like Japanese only, so we could still like read what's going on even though that we're talking.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, I love you so much, Vash.
Oh, that music!
Ooh. I love that sunset. Look at
That's so gorgeous.
It
Orange
is.
earning its name.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus
Oh!
Christ!
What the heck, dude?
Unnecessary! What? Why?
Yeah, why? Oh my god, he's insane. But like, you're putting the whole town in danger, and you're gonna get yourself killed. Oh, look at that. Look at those camera shots. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. just slow fucking bombs.
I guess they just went...
Okay, it is a 22. That's an interesting change.
Yeah.
Much smaller caliber than the original series.
Oh no! Poor Vash. Oh, I just love all these camera shots. I'm just like
so expressive.
geeking out. Yeah. It's all he needs.
Oh, is this the shot? Yes, 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 yes! That was in the trailer, and oh, that's so fucking sad. Oh! Oh! Fuck, yes! Oh,
that's so good!
Yeah!
Ooh!
He's not. Is he going to?
Oh, he's gonna.
Oh, okay, alright. I thought he was gonna, like, ricochet it, but that's actually pretty cool, too.
You didn't think that was what he was gonna do?
I thought he was gonna shoot the rock and he was going to, like, ping-pong
Oh.
it. That was fucking awesome.
Mhm. Ooh. Oh, is Knives fucking with the plants?
I would imagine so.
But why would he do that? Like...
Oh, you were just directly addressing it, I guess.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Hi, Knives. Nice. I wasn't aware you were cosplaying as a jellyfish.
Look,
you know,
he looks like Gowry. He can cosplay Gowry.
I was going to say, like, Gowry's over here. You could use a friend. Oh.
That's really interesting.
Meh! Well, let's see the after credit or the credits.
Yeah.
Or is it going to be the opening? They do that
It could
sometimes. All right, so that was
Trigun Stampede. That
yes.
was amazing.
On one hand, I love this. I absolutely love it. But on the other, there's so many elements they've just tossed away.
Yeah.
Like, Vash has no mystery now to him.
Mm-hmm.
Which was a massive, like, draw for several of the characters and for even the audience.
Yeah, because it was like, well, is this actually the real Vash, or is this not actually Vash? And this is just a guy who gets wrapped up in it because he kind of looks like all the rumors.
Yeah, and then, like, you only know that it's Vash once he pulls the trigger. But, like, that takes several episodes. And here, we're just immediately he's drawing the gun and firing.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I don't know. If this is a 12-episode series, that makes some level of sense. Like, you don't have enough time to really build up that mystery, and if you've got other things planned, those probably take precedence. And B, we've already got the original anime to go from.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, that was such a draw for me. It's like, you have this gunslinger that never fires his gun, and he only fires it when shit gets real. Like, you realize that all those dangerous... Ooh. After credits image.
Oh,
but yeah,
it's beautiful too.
Yeah, like that was like that was such a draw for me. It's like, you know, the gunslinger that never draws the gun, and then you realize that all the events that happened before, they weren't dangerous enough to warrant him pulling the trigger. It's like you realize, damn, this guy is so sure of himself. And it's like, oh yeah, he's definitely this thing. Like, you could believe he could destroy an entire town just from the chaos he creates alone.
Yeah.
Like,
in a way, it's a little bit like Slayers.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how those two actually line up very well.
It's almost like Trigun is like the sci-fi version of Slayers.
With a much more, I think, a little more serious twist, even though it has, like if you're looking at the balance of comedy to serious, Slayers is like 70-30, and meanwhile it's like the inverse where it's like 30-70, if that makes any sense. Yeah. But I mean, they're still both great, and I'm curious just where they're taking things, that they're willing to like throw a lot of things that carried the original anime all the way through. Like, you just, all those got shoved out the window. So that's got me curious.
Yeah.
So let's cover, we have the opening with, we immediately start off in the seed ships. No illusions there. I guess technically they haven't really explained what's going on, but I think it's a savvy viewer that's paying attention can infer this is where all the people on the planet came from, these ships.
Yeah.
We get a little bit of tiny Vash and his ugly hairdo talking to the people. I will never get over that. They are the ugliest bowl cuts I've ever seen in my life. And I grew up watching fucking Dexter's Laboratory, so I had Mandark in my head. I thought Mandark was the worst, but somehow you one-upped him. So Rem is immediately killed. We don't really... Do you think we're going to get more flashbacks to this? I imagine we are.
I hope so.
Because Rem is so fundamentally important to Vash as a character. So we got those explosions, got the cold open, and then we get to meet... Actually, I don't know this guy's name. Throughout the entire episode, I didn't pick it up, because I wasn't...
Roberto.
Roberto, right. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I really like him.
Yeah, he's kind of like the tired, cynical journalist stereotype who's a drunk.
Yeah, it's hitting a lot of stereotype vibes, which, for all of its faults, I don't think any of the main cast in the original the original anime was stereotypical at all. Like,
no, they weren't.
They were all very atypical character archetypes. So it's like it's kind of hitting a grinding note with that. I don't know how I feel about Meryl. Like, she's taking, like, it's kind of like you've taken Millie's slot, given it to Meryl. She's a little more naive and energized, as opposed to the cold, grizzled leader of the group, who is now Roberto. I don't know. I feel like you didn't need to just remove Millie. I guess we'll see if... I guess we'll find out. I'm also not a big fan of them being reporters now instead of insurance adjusters.
Yeah.
I think reporters is a lot less interesting than the concept of someone following a person around, because where you go, disaster follows, and we got to make sure our investors, our insurers are fucking protected, and they're not being charged more or less than what they're supposed to be. Like, like that created a level of agency for Millie and Meryl in the original, where they had to get involved, because if they didn't get involved, it was going to start running up the numbers, and it was going to look badly on them.
Yeah.
As opposed to here, where they're reporters and they're much more supposed to be passive and just observers. It's like,
I wonder if Millie still has that job, because like practically all of the scenes that we saw in that teaser trailer were from this first episode.
Yeah, I was surprised by that.
Yeah, we didn't see anything, I don't think, from any of the other episodes beyond it. So Millie could be in those episodes, just
just not in the first one.
We
So she
have
didn't
no, we
appear.
have seen, because we've seen a trailer with Wolfwood.
Oh yeah.
But that could be episode 2 for all we know. Like
Yeah.
they could literally just cut it down to 2 episodes and just like, okay,
Yeah, it could be.
here's the promo material. All right, fandom headcanon, introducing Wolfwood and Millie as his wife. Do it, show, do it,
Do it.
do it. And they live happily ever after. Damn it.
And there's no dying.
But yeah, I think it's safe to say Orange has fucking knocked it out of the park with the animation in this. Immediately,
yeah.
there's so much life to everything these characters do. There's like, I mean, yeah, there's not a
world
still
building with
frame.
the creatures. There's the characters have so much personality to them. There's so much personality in the settings. It's just everything about it is just so good, and it looks so good, and I'm just gushing.
I will say, like, I still think Land of the Lustrous looks better, but that they have the benefit of not dealing with technically human characters. So,
Well, yeah, they're all. It's
Yeah,
Steven
yeah.
Universe, but if it was an anime.
and an existentialist nightmare.
Yeah, so they're all like sparkly and shit. So they
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
they have to
They also they don't
animate
really
that.
they spend less time doing the lower frames thing as opposed to here where they do it a couple of times. It's still the animation comes through superb. Like it's one of the few instances where I'm kind of willing to take that choppy frame rate because I think
Choppy frame rate is fine if you're doing it for a reason.
yeah.
And they were doing it most for reasons in this.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to get at. Is like here it feels like they're pulling back on the frame rate and then they're pushing forward on the frame rate when they need to, as opposed to so many other anime that like use 3D and CGI and all that such, where they make the mistake of just going for a flat frame rate for their CGI anime, for their CGI figures. Like I think Gate, I love Gate, but like it has a CGI dragon in it that's just ugly as fuck. It's just like all right, you know. I love the idea of all these soldiers fighting a dragon, but can we make the dragon look like it matches the soldiers? No? Okay, all right. I guess no.
Wasn't that like what people say is like the good SAO?
Gate? No. You're
No?
thinking Log Horizon, I think.
Oh, Log Horizon. Okay.
Yeah, I think Log Horizon is what people typically point to as the good SAO.
Right. Sorry. My
it's-
apologies.
It's all good.
I don't know. I've been in school for so long. I don't know any of these newfangled anime. I have been busy actually trying to become an animator. That ironically, I don't have time for animation.
The Vash picture.
I know.
Yellow hair, recognizable from a mile away. He creeps near your town to be struck by calamity. Glasses. The Human Typhoon. I do like this. I love this wanted poster so much. It's great.
It's so good.
Oh, and Millie, Meryl's little laugh. I love her little cheeks. Just poof, she's a little chipmunk. Oh, like I'll give it that. Vash's redesign, I'm loving. Millie's redesign, I'm loving. We'll have to see Wolfwood in action because when I saw the trailer for him, I was not super impressed. He's a little too gangly.
Me, Meryl.
Sorry. Meryl.
You're just so upset that you haven't
I'm
seen
so
Millie.
upset that Millie's not here. Like if maybe like Roberto like gets fired or they get fired and they have to find new jobs and she finds it as an insurance adjuster and it's like working with Millie, who's also relatively new, is like, oh, I see why I was hired. Trying to take care of Vash, are we? Okay, great. I do love how like these vulture things are picking at only Vash. Like their corpses obviously still have things on them, but there's like, no, we're going for this guy. He's still alive too.
Well, the meat probably tastes better on a fresh corpse, or something that is nearing to be a corpse.
Who strung him up anyway? I'm trying to figure that out. Like, I guess just anyone, just randomly.
Yep.
It is a bit of divine providence that they ran into him coincidentally right where he was in the middle of the desert after their car stopped. It's like,
yeah.
what was Vash planning to do here? I guess, do plants need to eat to live? Like, do they need food and water?
I would imagine so. They're living beings.
But they kind of defy physics for a lot of reasons.
They do, but they're still organic things to a certain extent. They're kind of, I kind of see plants like Paxus from Vandred, which you haven't seen Vandred yet, but the 10 people who still know what Vandred is know what I'm talking about.
I just realized now his jacket has a seeds patch on it. Huh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I'm wondering we're going to get backstory to the seeds patch. I gotta get backstory to his arm, obviously. That's so integral. Yeah, this is, we get the what were they called? The mounts.
Military guys?
The mounts.
The July birds. Military Police.
Yeah, that's what threw me off. It's just they spell it JULAI. It's like July, and it's like okay, guess got
no Julet.
Julet. Actually, if we don't hear a Spanish guitar sting, I'm gonna be disappointed. The music that kicked in during that duel was sick. I loved it.
Oh, it was good. Yeah. I'm not usually a music person, but yeah, when you notice it, you notice it.
Oh yeah. When we watch Slayers, there's that one theme that always pops up where it's the main battle theme that crops up. I love that theme. It's nice and energizing. It's great.
Oh, that's good. I was actually wondering whether or not you liked any of the music from Slayers because you never mentioned it before.
I thought I mentioned that before, but I guess not. I've pulled it up before to listen on my own.
Yeah, you mentioned the music from Fruits Basket a lot, and you absolutely loved the music from Birdie the Mighty Decode.
Yeah, well, I love the main theme from Birdie the Mighty Decode. Most of the other themes, the other music is serviceable, but it's really that main theme that just goes so goddamn hard.
Yeah.
Oh god, she's so blushy because he complimented her. Oh. I do ship these two as well, so it's it's cute as fuck. What is Meryl Minute? Meryl Strife. How old is she in the age? The age of the courageous, ages. What?
21 at the beginning of the manga, it says.
Interesting. So she's technically younger, but this Meryl acts so much younger.
She does.
Than that one. So it's an interesting choice. I'm uneasy where they're going to take it, because my first big concern is they could so easily have been oh, we could just fold Millie and Meryl into one character, and so they might go for a weird love triangle thing. I think I would be kind of opposed to that, because
also, look how done Roberto is.
I mean, to be fair, I do appreciate Roberto's just I've been here, I have done this, I'm sick of this shit. I don't care if you're an immortal or what have you. I am done.
Yeah.
Actually, another thing, he looks like he could be a cousin to fucking Vinny from Atlantis.
Oh, yeah.
Little gunpowder, a little oregano, makes a nice big boom. Oh, God, I just, so expressive. Everyone's I gotta look at those group shots to see if how moving people are, because we finally go to the bar, and of course everything is kind of run down. Yeah, everyone is slightly moving in the shots.
Yeah,
they give a little bit of detail and life to that, which is very appreciable.
Especially since you watch Ruby.
Yes. Oh, don't. We can't say that. We'll get hated on. Oh god, her face when she sees Vash and is just what?
I'm sorry, I just can't help but clown on the animation, and it's not the animator's fault. It's the fact that they weren't allowed to be any good.
Or they were amateurs. They're legitimately amateurs that just didn't get time to learn.
Well, yeah, but also I saw somebody post an animation by one of the former animators, and it was amazing.
But, so Rosa, wasn't that also the name of the girl from the start of Fullmetal Alchemist?
Yes.
No, Rose.
Oh, right, Rose. It's still similar enough. Actually, this woman, Rosa, is giving me a bit of Millie vibes.
Mm.
Which, kind of interesting, too. I wonder if we're going to be hanging around this town.
It could be because she's like, pregnant, so she looks like Millie when she was hiding the kid.
True. And you got the long brown hair going on.
Yep.
She kind of got a motherly vibe going on, and obviously for the obvious reason, but also just in general.
Yeah.
Oh, this little kid. He's like so curious about Vash. Like, oh, it's Vash.
Yep. Oh, he's so scared.
Oh. Yeah, it's like, oh, they took so much time. Oh God, we're just gonna be. We got to get through this. We got to get through this. So the plants are dying.
Mm-hmm. Or at least one of them is.
One of them is, yes. So yes, one plant is dying at this place.
Yes.
It is two different plants. So maybe there is specialization going on. We had that whole. We didn't learn too much about it.
Yeah, no, like most of the information that I know comes from the original anime.
Vash does some cryptic things here. He's like, if it dies, something worse will happen. Or if we don't do something, something worse will happen. It's like, all right, what are you describing? Like, what can you do? And what worse thing will happen?
It could be, because we did talk about knives. Like, I was wondering whether or not knives fucked with the plants in order to kill the humans. Like, a little bit of sacrificing of the few to save the many sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because he views humans as parasites. But I wonder if Vash is a little concerned that if it isn't Knives doing this, that if Knives learns that a plant is killed in the care of a human, that he'll want revenge.
That is very possible. I could totally believe that. The other running theory that I'm wondering is, maybe Vash's gun isn't the angel arm.
Oh.
What if a plant dying is the thing that destroys towns?
Oh. Yeah, that could be interesting.
And that would actually lead into the idea that, oh, maybe what's-his-face of Knives is screwing with plants to destroy you. Because, like, if he kills the plants, if he kills a plant, it will obliterate an entire settlement.
Yeah, that could be, yeah.
And so the July military show up, and they're assholes. They're just complete pricks. Vash gets stomped on, and even though it's horrific, it's also hilarious because Vash is hilarious.
Vash, little wiggles.
Now, one thing I definitely missed on the first viewing was this conversation between the leader and Roberto. This is going to make a great article. You're a reporter from the desert. How about this for a headline? July military police show their weakness. Cowardly drawing guns on unarmed suspect. Okay.
Yeah, I missed that too.
Okay, so I'm not entirely sure what the reading I should have on Roberto is.
I think he was trying to use his skills as a reporter to defuse the situation.
I love Meryl just the little, like, her head bobbing. It's like, it really gets me. You could see the stretch in her neck.
Yeah.
What?
He's like a chicken.
So yeah, I don't think I missed much of anything after that. It was a quick draw duel. They're all paying up for the bets. They have a ladder up to this rock side for some reason. Like, you wouldn't just make stairs or ramp, I guess.
It could, doing that could, damage the structural integrity of the rock.
True. I mean, they've already very intelligently placed this entire city under a very massive, very precariously placed boulder. Like, literally the size of a mountain. God, the camera work in this show is like, that is just...
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I was gushing about. It's so good.
Yeah, it's literally just two people standing off against each other, but the composition is so good. You even got, like, the little thematic thing of Vash in the light, this guy in the dark. Like
yeah.
They're not too small that you can't see, but they're not big that they're filling the screen. They're these small specks against nature. It's like, you could draw a lot from this one image, and it's such a simple shot.
Mm-hmm.
Orange. Orange! How do you do it?
It's so painterly. Like, you could almost, like, see brush strokes in it too.
Yeah.
Or at least it was made to look like it could be brush strokes because it's so blurry with the atmosphere.
Okay, so minor plot hole. Why didn't Vash just grab that gun and fire it?
I don't think...
Well, I mean, I was just going to say, like, in the original, we know that he can use other firearms than his pistol.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that the guy threw it far enough away that Vash would have been able to just grab it, and then by the time he realized that he was out of bullets, the guy grabbed his own gun again. Because we see...
Right.
Yeah. Because we see when he finally does get a bullet that the guy has his gun again, and he tries to, like, shoot it to screw Vash up.
Yeah, and I Roberto, I'm not entirely sure what to, like, this is the thing that I hate. It's like, oh, privileged, only the privileged get to sling around the word coward. And it's like, I don't know what they're doing with Meryl here. I don't know what their plan is. I'm not clicking with, like, she's adorable, and I like the inner character dynamics for sure. But, like, just like, this is not clicking with the Meryl that I know from the show, just like Vash is. Like Vash clicks instantly. This is still Vash.
Yeah.
And
but
I fully look forward.
Feel like Meryl.
Yeah, I fully look forward to Johnny Young Bosch. I cannot wait to see him in this role. I think it will be. I really hope they get him back, and I I think he's going to have a lot of fun with it.
Oh yeah, like I would hope that he would be excited to play Vash again, because that's got to be like a really nostalgic thing, like something that's like dear to his heart, because that got him into voice acting.
Yeah, and I can only imagine now, because like you saw the growth between the original series and Badlands Rumble. Like, the growth there was exponential, and he's only had more time to grow. Like, he's done Lelouch since that movie, and it's like, Lelouch is one of the... I adore Lelouch's voice acting. I think it's superb. So it's like, what is he going to be bringing to the role? He's doing Broly now for frickin' DBZ. It's like...
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't watch DBZ anymore, so...
Yeah, I mean, I know about that because of all the Mignana stuff.
Yeah. I gave up on Dragon Ball stuff ever since the original DBZ anime finished. I watched part of the new movie that had come out, but I'm like, it just keeps going on, and I was already upset that they kind of, like, sidelined Gohan, who was the character that I was rooting for the entire time originally, so I'm like...
As I understand it, is Akira Toriyama wanted Gohan to take over as the main character, but...
Yeah, they don't let him.
Because Goku is too popular. Which sucks, because Gohan's pretty popular. People like Gohan.
I love Gohan! I grew up with Gohan! He was just a little baby when I was a little baby, and then he became a teenager when I was a teenager. Well, not as drastically as, like, Digimon or Harry Potter, but, like, still. Like, these are characters that grow with you, so... And, like, you get to see their struggles and their growth, and then Goku, he's already had his, like, time in the limelight. Like, give it to Gohan. He had much more growth potential than Goku did. Anyway.
Yeah, anyway, back. We get the action sequence. The action sequence is great.
Yeah.
Questions about the gun aside, and
yeah, so
God,
he has the gun back.
This moment, just the dodging is so gorgeous, and it highlights, like, I hope what we can expect from this show. There's a few other shots that weren't in this episode that I'm recalling now, that I really am excited to see in full motion, or in full, I guess, and not full motion.
Yeah.
Still disappointed that his shot wasn't to ricochet it, because I think that would have been funnier, but it's still fucking cool what he chose. I think they cut away from the explosions a little too fast, because like it immediately hard cuts to this, and it's like could have lingered on that, like the darkness just a little bit, let the sound
just
kind of
a little bit,
let it sink in, and then all of a sudden we're just like, oh, you pay for this.
It's a very anime thing to do, but yeah, I do agree that they could have lingered on it a little bit longer.
So that guy literally just wanted to kill Vash and, like, everyone there because he was an asshole.
Yep.
Maybe we'll learn more about that, maybe not. We'll have to see.
Yeah, waiting for the next episode next week.
And, of course, what we ended out on was Vash explaining that he has a brother. And it's like, oh, what does scare you? My brother. It's like, wow. Like, that was literally revealed to Meryl in, like, the penultimate episode of the original Trigun.
Yeah.
That was a huge bombshell to drop on her. Admittedly, he hasn't really gone into what he is and where he's from. Like, he hasn't said any of that, but still.
Yeah.
This is a huge drop for the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely has such a vastly different tone for this version of the series that it's almost, if you're new to Trigun, that I can't imagine that it would be so confusing. Because, like, you and me, we're watching this as people who have already watched the original anime, so it's like, oh yeah, like, we already know all this stuff. And holy crap, they're just, like, throwing out all of these big bombshells that were in the original anime, like they're nothing.
But to any new viewer, this is just setting things up. It's like, oh, this is just information that we have now, as opposed to, like, any kind of mystery or mystique.
Yeah. So I would say watch the original Trigun before watching this new one.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to if you really want to appreciate the original Trigun in its full extent.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, I don't think you'll have a bad experience watching this one first. I just think you'll diminish your value from the original anime watching that afterwards. Also, Vash got the evil spire of evil. We didn't really get much of a secret hideout in the anime. We just got a few scenes there, but, like, we get to see it in its glory here, so hopefully we get some cool scenes there. Maybe it'll get blown
hopefully.
up. That'd be kind of fun.
Maybe.
And yeah, you got screamy old lady on a statue.
Yeah.
And that was Trigun Stampede's first episode.
Yeah.
Closing thoughts?
I was gushing like the animator that I am over the animation, the camera shots, the camera angles, just the frame rates, just everything about it was just so good. And for the fact that it's from Japan, who is notoriously not all that good with its 3D animation, like it's just perfect. The story, like we already talked about, it's going a little bit fast, so I don't know where it's going. I'm a little bit taken aback by how much they're revealing all in the first episode. It feels very current decade storytelling, which is very unfortunate because I believe that the current decade method of storytelling is a little bit jangling keys in front of your face.
Yeah. I don't quite feel that yet, but it'll have to be a retroactive analysis in the sense of, like, they're setting, this is obviously a way different take on Trigun, so maybe they're setting up for things, so
I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful, and I do believe that this studio knows what it's doing and will give us a really great new version of Trigun.
There's like really speed running things, like Wolfwood shows up episode 2, Wolfwood dies episode 3.
Yeah, so like I said, it felt like, even though that I think that this is good storytelling, I still think that it does have that jangling keys in front of your face so that you could pay attention. Like, it needs to give, like, it needs to speed run all of this stuff so that you can keep your attention on the show.
Right.
It's not necessarily bad, it's just a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah. So I'm maybe that'll improve, because first episodes can get rough. You know, that's always. So hopefully we slow down just a little bit in the next episode.
Yeah. Like, we still overall both absolutely love this first episode.
Oh yeah, I am all aboard. I am praying that the little banjo tune that plays at the end of the trailer, the first trailer, comes back in the show, because I want to hear a full version of that. I like the solemn banjo noise. It struck something in me that I haven't heard since Journey of the Sorcerer, that was played during the trail, basically the theme song of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It has this very melancholic banjo solo at the very beginning, and it's like it's hitting that chord of, like, there's a vast expanse to explore and you are the lone explorer out among the wilderness. It's like, goddamn, sign me up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you had a good time. God damn, we went at this for an hour and a half.
Yeah, we did.
I guess we'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week, guys. Bye.
Catch you all on the flip side.
お前は共犯者だ。そうだろう Blah.